Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of May 13th to the 19th of 2024. All right, so this week we have quite a few sign changes. We've got the fast-moving planets changing signs once again. We have the sun going from more active Aries into more grounded Taurus right at the beginning of the week. We've got Venus joining more active Aries, coming out of the watery Pisces energy around Friday, and Venus going into Taurus to ground things as well. So definitely a shift coming out of what has been the deeper watery energies of Pisces, where we've had the last lunar cycle and really the past couple months, which slowly just started to get a new beginning last week. We had the new moon last week around midweek, and so this is a great week to move these things forward. Any new intentions, any new perspectives that you gained from last week's new moon is a great week to be implementing and starting to notice some momentum building and a lot more manifestation this month starting this week. But with those sign changes, it's great to see that there's obviously going to be a shift of focus, shift of attention on things, and again, more forward movement, I think, coming out of the more watery energies into the more active, and in this case, even more grounded energies with Taurus. All right, the sun will be passing over Uranus and Jupiter as the sun goes into Taurus, and so maybe some of those opportunities we've been hopeful or open-minded about since last month and now this lunar month with the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. This can be great for maybe opportunities, maybe just feeling a little bit open-minded about things, feeling a bit inspired, and maybe even a sense of some changes in our life starting to, again, really be implemented this lunar month. Mercury will be squaring up to Pluto around Friday, so maybe some deep things we can work with on Friday there, but anything that's about empowerment can be great to work with on that level. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, May 13th. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. In mainstream, you won't see them using the visible sky because they use a simplified system. And so the signs do change. If you are new to this, definitely check out the link down below. And especially if you do notice that some of those sign placements are different, like maybe you're expecting the energies to already be in Taurus, for example, all of that is down below. All right, so let's go ahead and do a bit of a recap because again, we do have a lot of sign changes, which means things are definitely shifting this week. And so coming into the week on Monday, we still have that perspective on how we can take initiative with things. That's the fiery Aries energy. The sun's finishing here. Venus will be finishing here this week, but Mercury will be joining this on Friday. So there's still definitely that perspective on how we can take initiative. Aries is a great time to be more proactive in our life, really listen to our gut and our instincts. And again, a little bit of that fire can really go a long ways. That's really what this whole lunar cycle is about. The lunar cycle that started last Wednesday, last week. And again, what's really good to be implementing this week as we'll be in that first quarter moon. Now, also though, we have that Pisces energy still going on. Even after Mercury leaves Pisces this week, Mars is still here. And so it's still a reminder that really the energies from last lunar month, that really deep and transformative eclipse month, that it's still important to be receptive and it's still important to connect with our soul. And sometimes a little bit of inaction is the better action. And so Mars reminds us to connect to the ethers of life, the stream of life, the currents of life, and put energy towards that. Because Mars is where we can put our drive, where we can put that Aries energy, that proactivity, that initiative. And here it's saying that it's still through the watery dimensions to do this. Still important to do that towards more soul-fulfilling things and have that sense of willing to trust in the divine process and again connect to our soul to make sure things are aligned there. So definitely that mixed energy. But as we come into this week now, we're starting to get some new Earth energy. So the sun will start to get closer to Taurus here on Monday, and really starting the whole next month plus, really the next couple months on this Taurus side of things. So how can we start to view life in the sense of groundedness? Taurus is all about connecting to our inner and outer resources. And so here, connecting to that inner stability, self-worth, self-value, self-belief, even our natural talents, natural abilities, these are great to be connecting to, but also external resources as well. So money, income, even things involving nature, enjoyments, beauty, aesthetics, design, all of the natural or physical values of life are great to be focused on as well. So those inner and outer resources, and I think anything on this level is great. Again, probably good to take things a little bit slowly, even though there is that proactive energy. Taurus is another yin energy, just like Pisces, which in this case reminds us to make sure that one foot is firmly placed before taking the next step. And so it is a bit more of the steady wins the race sort of energy, one step at a time. Taurus, the bull. So that's right off the bat with Sunday and, on Monday. And the sun will be passing over Uranus first, as Uranus is still slowly making his way into Taurus. So Monday could be a bit of a freeing day. We could again start to notice maybe some of these things that we've been already aware of probably the past month or two, in regards to changes in our life, in regards to what might bring in more freedom, in regards to really listening to our excitement. And so I think there could be a nice step in the right direction on Monday. But all in all, just noticing maybe there's some new beginnings, but also some new intentions we can set in terms of cultivating some of that listening to our excitement, connecting more to that true self, and acting from that sense of freedom and aspiration, we could say, with Uranus. All right, so that's the aspect there on Monday, the sun over Uranus, sun into Taurus. Venus will be sextiling Saturn, nothing major, but a little bit of groundedness maybe in those relationships, and maybe with those enjoyments in life, maybe just feeling a little easier for responsibility and discipline when it comes to those values and connections. Now, the moon will be in Cancer here on Monday, probably playing just the backdrop where it's just a good day to maybe check in with our emotional selves, create that secure and safe environment for ourselves and others. Good time for some of that caring and nurturing energy as well. That's Monday, but for the bulk of this week, really from Tuesday all the way until the end of Friday, we have the moon in Leo. And so this can be a great time of expressing ourselves and connecting more with our heart and doing more of the things we love. And so self-expression is great here this middle part of the week, and letting some of that out, maybe some of that creative energy, maybe some of that fun, playful, inspirational kind of energy can really go a long ways. And when we are on Wednesday, we will be in the first quarter moon, and the sun will be squaring the moon from Taurus to Leo. So it is a bit of that mixed bag where it might be a bit challenging to be grounded and at the same time inspired, right? Earth and fire. But if there is anything that can be implemented so that we are grounded, yet also listening to that inspiration and passion, I think it's a great way of working with the middle part of the week. And again, it is the first quarter, this middle part of the week, where we do come to our first challenges of the lunar cycle. It's not a particularly challenging lunar cycle, but in the sense that we can be challenging ourselves right now. And again, I think to start to move forward, a lot of these new things that have come into our life or we've changed our perspective with since last week. So good to challenge ourselves. We can notice a lot manifesting this week, and a great week for action in that sort of sense. All right, and then, so again, moon in Leo for the whole bulk of the week. That's Wednesday. And then as we do get into Friday, Mercury will square up to Pluto. So Mercury, the planet of our minds and communications, will be joining with Pluto, the ruler of the underworld. So a bit of a deep mind, a bit of deep communications can be coming up. This has really been these fast movers going into Aries. They've already been squaring Pluto. We've had the Sun and Venus already square Pluto these past few weeks. So here it's how can we work with the deeper mind in constructive ways? A great time of challenging ourselves to see the deeper side of life, maybe uncovering deep things. and communication as well. Depth there in our communications, and also non-attachment too, in case this can come up where the ego gets too attached, as Pluto does like to show us where the ego is overly attached. It's good to be non-attached, I think, to communications, correspondences, and even anything on a day-to-day level, in order to allow some of that deeper energy to come in. And what Pluto ultimately wants us to do is to have that sense of self-empowerment. So more empowered communications, more empowered mind, being willing to dive deep, being willing to see and communicate the truth. And yes, this can be a very empowering, very transformational thing. So nothing major, really, I think, because all the fast movers have been passing over here already, but a nice step in the right direction of perhaps reclaiming some power, maybe with those communications, maybe with some of those day-to-day activities. And again, challenging ourselves to do so can be fantastic. So this is about the time that Mercury, like I said, will start to go into Aries, and so that's going to add to more of that. For the next roughly couple weeks, our minds will be in the more fiery Aries side of things, so we'll likely notice a lot more directness with our communications, a lot more assertiveness. It is a good time to have that sense of directness with how we're thinking and what we're communicating with things. So very independent mind, very direct communications, all very likely here with Mercury's transit of Aries. And again, coming out of Pisces, it makes it a lot easier, right? Mercury was not comfortable in Pisces. And so towards this weekend, as Mercury starts to leave Pisces, our minds are coming out of the ethers and out of that spiritual energy. And so it becomes just generally easier to think, generally easier to communicate in this sort of stuff. All right, Saturday, Venus will start to go into Taurus, and we'll be passing over that Uranus. So here, starting to see the value of some of that resourceful energy, some of the value of that grounded approach to life in those outer resources even. This is actually a great placement for Venus, as she does rule Taurus. So enjoying some of that central life, grounded life, both personally and interpersonally, I think is great. Seeing the value of that sense of freedom and listening to our excitement, we can notice perhaps some new beginnings in these values and in these connections around Saturday. And so great to, again, be seeing that, maybe setting some new intentions in regards to where we can have a little bit more of that freedom in our relationships, a little bit more excitement in our relationships, a little more freedom in our enjoyments and our values. And again, really in the context of what's already been moving forward in that sense these past couple months. And this will be around the same time the sun will be over Jupiter too. So we could notice that's a very good weekend for, again, moving things forward on this level. Sun over Jupiter can give us that sense of open-mindedness and inspiration, and even, again, possibilities and opportunities. So good to be attuned to that and, again, set some new intentions with that, particularly over the weekend here with this dual conjunction. Could be interesting. All right, and it's over the weekend that the moon will be in Virgo, so it's worth mentioning that although it is a week of self-expression and some of that playful Leo energy, Saturday and Sunday is good for a little more of that maybe work, maybe improvement, getting into the details of things. Virgo is always a good time for seeing what can be fixed and improved in our lives and getting into some of that detail-oriented energy. So it's still definitely going to be just more of the backdrop since we do have a lot going on already, but it's definitely worth noting here that Virgo influence. All right, now the weekends with the Sun sextile Neptune, nothing major here, but noticing maybe just, again, a little bit of that ease with the spiritual and receptive energies, which, again, aren't going to be as strong by the time we get to the weekend. And so just a little bit of willingness to probably go with the flow a little bit and be a bit receptive on Sunday. All right, everyone, so that's a mouthful, but I'm going to do my best now to distill this into the most simplified, most important way of reading the week. I think it is an active week. I think it's a week of a lot manifesting. I think that's seen by the first quarter moon of really moving forward this lunar month's energy. We've got the fast movers now starting to pass over the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction. So this conjunction already happened back on April 20th. And it was activated with the new moon last week. And so it's another steps in the right direction in regards to this idea of being open-minded and a bit inspired in life regarding anything we're a little excited about, a little, anything we feel like we want a little bit of change with in our life, anything that's going to help us connect more with our true self, maybe feel a bit inspired or whatever it is. And but again, it's already been there, so you should have a good idea what that is for you, minor, major, whatever it is. nice steps in the right direction with that, certainly this week. And yeah, and that's really the most important stuff going on this week. Of course, the sign changes signifies the shift of perspective. And I would say all in all, still definitely a water-fire combination, receptivity with action, as it's already been the case these past couple weeks. But now adding to it the Taurus energy, the grounding, Taurus the bull, one step at a time, slowly moving things forward in our lives. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you haven't yet gotten your True Sidereal report, there's a link down below for that to check out your True Sidereal signs and what that means for you with interpretations, and also the full report if you'd like that as well. But again, have a great one, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.